Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Card Games That Don't Suck, in which I am joined by Matthew Lees, which is why I have to wear the shirt.
Yeah, legally obligated. He's got some wonderful decks of cards and they're very, very attractive, and he gets a different deck of cards out for each of these videos if you haven't seen them. We've got a whole bunch on YouTube, but obviously now as well, I've added to the aesthetic joy of this series by giving him this official Card Games That Do Not Suck shirt available at TK Maxx.
You squeezed my shoulder there in a way that was slightly uncomfortable.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I mean, it's fine. It's just, just letting you know in case you wanted to do that to someone else. Ever. Let's move on. Today I'm going to be teaching you a 5-player only game. Now, that might sound annoying, but as the rules on pagat.com informed me, you can play with 6, but one person just has to sit out each round. That's not a 6-player game, Pagat.
That's one person doesn't get to play.
Yeah, so, okay. Briscola Chiamata might sound like a bit of a boring name, but what if I told you some alternate names for this were Briscola Pazza, which translates as Crazy Briscola, Briscola Assassina, Assassin Briscola, or Briscola Bastarda, which I was not able to find a translation for.
There's also Briscola Panic, back in the habit.
So, here's what we're going to be doing. This is a game, it's a variant on Briscola, that is played with an Italian 40-card deck. No one expects you to buy one of those. I certainly don't. But to replicate that at home then, all you're going to do is take out the 7s, 8s, and 9s of each suit and the 2 jokers.
And then you end up with a 40-card deck?
40 cards, a
Slightly
slim
slimmer.
40-card deck.
Of course, the reason for this is because in Italy, the numbers 8, 9, and 7 don't exist.
That's true.
So,
With this deck, we're going to be dealing the whole thing out to 5 players.
and you were telling me there's a variant of this game that actually involves a hidden traitor
Oh,
mechanic?
yes, I should have said. So, the reason this game is cool is this is the only card game I've been able to find that has hidden secret roles. I've completely forgotten which part this is going to. Let's do a star wipe and I'll fix my mistake. So, once you've dealt out 8 cards to everybody, which will be the whole deck, everyone can pick up their cards and you are going to play a trick-taking game. Now, I know what you're thinking. Gwyn's, you just did a trick-taking game in episode 3. Are you thinking that? Well, Matthew, there's going to be even more trick-taking. Lots of card games that don't suck are just trick-taking games. So, this isn't the first and it's not going to be the last.
And it's not going to be my everything.
But this is a trick-taking game that actually starts with an auction. So, going from the dealers counterclockwise, which, by the way, again, according to pagat.com, all play in this rather than going clockwise, which is, how all games work. Everything goes counterclockwise. Why? Absolutely no reason. You can ignore this rule if you want. Card games are really annoying.
Again, it's because in Italy, clocks don't exist.
So Matt would start the bidding, and Matt's going to say a suit. So Matt might say rank. Matt might say the rank of ace. Okay. Now I'm going to go through the order of things because ace is the highest, and then the number 10, and then king, queen, jack, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Is this game a fever dream?
So many card games basically are. But no, so it's simple. It's ace is high, then all the things are in normal order except for 10, which is between the ace and the king. So Matt, you might say ace, and then this player number 2, might pass, at which point they're out of the auction. Player number 3 might say 10. So basically, a high bid in this is actually low. So you said ace, which is the highest card. That's actually a pretty low bid. This player says 10. This player says queen. I pass. You might say like 5, which is pretty low.
5, yeah.
5, okay.
5.
These 2 players drop out, which means you have the winning bid of 5, okay? Now, what might happen in your game once players know Briscola Chiamata is that bidding actually gets down to the lowest possible rank, all the way down to the 2. So if someone bids 2, it is actually possible to bid something even more extravagant. Instead, you bid 2 and then you say a number between 60 and 120. Because as we'll get to later, that's how many points your team needs to win. So once someone bids 2, the next bid can be 2 and then 62 points or 63 points. So you're sticking with that bid of 2, but then you're increasing the number of points that your team needs to win. In winning the auction, you get to say, what is the trump suit? I'll explain what trump suits are in a bit. So basically, you'll look at your hand, you might see, let me peek
I'm
at your
going to
hand
spade, please, Bob.
Yep, you've got a lot of spades, so Matt will declare spades as the trump suit. He doesn't put a card down, we all just have to remember spades or trump. But, now this is the cool bit. So this is now Matt, in winning the auction, all the other players are against Matt, except for the person, because remember his winning bid was 5? The person who holds the 5 of spades is secretly on Matt's team as well, and that player must say nothing. So actually, just as it happens, he didn't know this, I've got the 5 of spades. Look, so if we were playing a full 5 game, Matt would say spades, at which point I see I've got the 5 of spades, and I go, okay, because I'm secretly on Matt's team.
So then we're secret buddies.
Yes, but here's the crazy bit. You don't know which other player is on your team, which is already a really fun social dynamic. So once Matt has declared the bid, or whoever wins the auction, you might not have a Matt in your game, that's fine. So actually, it's the player to the dealer's right who leads the first trick, who's the same person who starts the auction. However, in our case, Matt won the auction and is the person to the player's right. So you would just start the trick anyway.
Yep, okay, perfect.
So now if you've not played a trick-taking game before, this is a very simple version of that. What happens is Matt will play any card from his hand into the middle of the table. Right, 2 of spades. Now,
it's a trump. It's probably not a good move on my part, but I'm feeling feisty.
Okay, so now all the other players must play 1 card into the trick as well. Now, this is a useful example because Matt played a trump. Basically, in order to beat Matthew and to claim, or to beat everybody really, and to claim this pile of cards, you have to play a spade, in this case, that is higher than Matt. But unlike a lot of trick-taking games, you can play absolutely anything. In some trick-taking games, if you've played one before, you might have to play the same suit as Matt if you can. In other trick-taking games, you might have to play a card that beats Matthew if you can. In Briscola Chiamata, you can play whatever. So this player could play a 10 of diamonds, which means they will not be able to beat Matthew because Matthew played a spade, and spade is the trump suit. So basically the way this works is everyone then plays a card of their choice into the pile. You will end up with 5 cards, and then the person who wins, first off is if anyone played the trump suit, which in this case we've got a 2 of spades and a 5 of spades, whoever played the higher trump suit would take the trick. If nobody played a trump suit, then the person who wins is the person who played the highest card of the suit that the person leading the trick starting with. So let's say Matt started the trick with a 10 of diamonds, and then the trump suit was hearts. And this is what we ended up with. There's no hearts, so there's no trumps.
Which means Diamond Boy takes it home.
Which means Diamond Boy takes it home because Matt played the highest card that was diamonds.
And what was everyone else playing at? No one knows. That's trick taking, baby.
So Matt would then take all of these cards, and then you would do this 8 times. The person who wins the trick then leads the next trick.
My little trick will then just live here, right?
It does. However, what you're trying to do here is collect points. So again, this is where some cool text comes up on the screen. In Briscola Chiamata, so these cards you're collecting, right?
Right.
In lots of trick-taking games, what matters is the numbers of tricks you win. In Briscola Chiamata, it's the cards that you have won. So look, you've got a 3, a 2, and a 5 there. Worthless, okay? The only cards that are worth anything in this game, aces are worth 11 points, that's the most. 10s are worth 10 points. Kings are 4, queens are 3, jacks are 2. Everything else is completely worthless.
Whoa.
So you've got a 10 there, which is worth 10 points. A queen there, which is worth 3 points, for a total of 13 points for this trick.
I'll take it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, in the whole deck, there are 120 points, which means the winning team, because remember, it's Matt and a secret player versus 3 other players, is whoever gets more than 60 points. Okay? Because the deck contains 120 points. But what ends up actually happening is this really interesting dynamic where, let's say, we know we're all fighting Matt, but then I end up winning a trick and I get all these cards. Then everyone else around the table is like, yeah.
And then
they're like, but what if Quinns is working with Matt? So this is a really important rule in Briscola Chiamata. Teams cannot, first off, you cannot share information about what cards you have. You can't conspire with your team and be like, just play a low card because I'm going to play a really high trump. That is completely illegal. You also, it's not a deduction game. It's a game where you can deduce, but you kind of want to keep it to yourself. We found this really quite natural when we started playing. It was a lot of kind of joking, a lot of, that's suspicious, a lot of questioning. But it's not a game where you have to truly calculate. It's more just try and play it in a light-hearted fashion, which we found very easy to do. Also, here's the thing. Matt, in our example, called 5. His bid was 5, and the trump suit was spades, which means as the holder of the 5 of spades, I'm his secret teammate. There will always be a point in Briscola Chiamata where a player around the table plays the card that marks them as the particular ally. And it's always a trump as well. So it's a question of, When are you going to play that card and reveal yourself? See, isn't it quite interesting?
It's very interesting.
I
Honestly,
find it.
it's very interesting.
I find it super cool. Now,
Super school.
I've just aged 10 years. So once you finish a round of Briscola Chiamata and you've played 8 tricks and you've divided up the points to see who won, that can just be a game and you can pack it all up and play again, or you can work out scoring. I'm not going to teach scoring in this video because like most games that can be used for gambling, scoring is, I'm not going to say overcomplicated, but as complicated as it needs to be, because it's got stuff like, oh, well, if the 2 players win all the tricks, then they score double points and all this fun stuff. There is going to be a link in the description of this video where you will be able to read the scoring rules yourself. Also, I'm going to point out something really cool here that's only going to be relevant in games where you are keeping track of score. But here's the thing. Imagine, Matthew, that you won that bid with a 5 and you said spades, but look, you chose to do that, but you're the one holding the 5 of spades. If you do that, of course, your secret ally is yourself. And what that means is all the other players will be discussing, well, who's working secretly.
Do you get double points?
Yes. So I knew it. It's a 2 versus 3 game, but the person who wins the auction can engineer it to be a 1 versus 4 game, but only they know it. At which point, if they do win, then A, they get loads of points, and B, they feel so cool. So that's Briscola Chiamata. I gave all the translations earlier. I didn't say what Chiamata translated as. I believe it's like bidding Briscola. That's not a very interesting way to end this video.
What does Briscola mean?
Oh, Briscola translates, according to my research, as Briscola. So I think it's just a name. But isn't this game exciting?
It's quite exciting.
It's quite, I mean, you haven't played this with us, but like, my goodness, we had a really great time.
I can tell it's exciting because you became serious during the video and started calling me Matthew, which is something that no one other than my mother does.
You know, it's because I'm wearing this shirt.
It's because you got the serious business shirt.
It's because I'm just feeling very formal.
Very formal, yes, of course. You look like you're off on your way to the James Bond ball.
If you'll excuse me, I'm now going to put £100 on red. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been another card game that doesn't suck. I'll be back in another couple of weeks after I've lost all of my money at the casino.